Okay, we're going to have a look at decimals on a number line first. Here we have a number line from 0 to 10, and I'm going to move the little cursor here between 0 and 1, and the number line above it shows us this part of the number line, and I'll put the cursor where I think I had it down here. 1, 2, 3. Divided, we've got these little white marks, which are these ones here, okay, and I had my thing after about 4 of those divisions. Now they're tenths, okay, so they're 4 tenths, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I highlight this part here again, we can see that this one here is 0.4 and this is 0.5, so let's put it to about there, 0.42. Okay, so I've created a number that's somewhere in here that's 0.42. I've blown up 0 to 1 to show 4 tenths of the way, 5 tenths of the way, so that's 0.4, and I can just see 2 there, and I've put it on there fully. Okay, 0.42. Let's just write that down, 0.42. Let's type it in. Let's be tidy. 0.42. Now let's compare it to another decimal number, 0.9. Now a lot of people think that 0.9 is smaller than 0.42 because 9 is smaller than 42, but if we just come over to our number line here, 0.9 is in fact bigger because it's 9 tenths. The other one was 4 tenths and 2 hundredths, okay, but this one is 9 tenths of the way. .9 something, so it's further up the scale. And so the way that decimals work is that, I wish I had written it down, it would have been better. 0.42 is only 4 tenths plus 2 hundredths, and 0.9 is 9 tenths, and 9 tenths is bigger than 4 tenths. So if we see if we can have a look at that, over here I've got my tenths grid, and I've got 0.4. Let's turn it into a hundredths grid. I've got 4 tenths, which looks like that, and 2 hundredths. So that one there is 0.42. Over here I'm going to show you 0.9, so I'm going to change this into a tenths grid, and I'm showing you 9 tenths, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is clearly more than this one, 0.42. So my 0.9 over here can also be written as 9 tenths and no extra hundredths. Okay, so in fact we're not looking at 9, we're looking at 90 hundredths compared to 42 hundredths. Why is it 42 hundredths? I thought you said it was 4 tenths. Well, in each tenth is 10 hundredths. 10 hundredths, 20 hundredths, 30 hundredths, 40 hundredths. So 40 hundredths is my hundredths place value here, hundredths. That's the same as 4 tenths, but we'll just show you as hundredths, okay, 40 of them. Just like our 9 tenths was 90 hundredths over here. Okay, now if we look at another number, let's look at the number 1.32. Let's look at it on a new sheet. 1.32. What does that number look like? Let's clear it. I'm going to make them, this one here, into a tenths grid. I can actually make this into anything. I can make it into a halves grid, but I still want the whole. I still want one. But I could also show it as tenths grid as well. But I still want all of it. So it doesn't matter what I show that. I'm going to colour it all in. So there's my one whole there. 3 tenths, I want 3 of those. And 2 hundredths, 2 of those. So all these blocks is the parts that I need to show 1.32. Now if I look at that number, I can see that there are 2 hundredths there, but the tenths grid, there are also 10, 20, 30 hundredths there. Okay, and in my whole unit, I have got 100 hundredths. Let's show that as a hundredths grid. If I coloured them all in, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 90, I've got 100 there, I've got 30 there, and I've got 2 there. So 132 can be written as 132 hundredths. Hundredths. TH. Okay, or 13 hundredths. And I'm going to write my hundredths like this now. 13 hundredths and 2. I'm going to write 13 by 100th. Otherwise it looks at like that would look like 13 and 100th, and 2 lots of 100th. Just because I'm allowed. I can also write it as 1 whole plus 3 of 10, 3 times a tenth, tenth with the sticks, plus 2 times 100th. So I'm partitioning that number, 1.32. So here I'm showing 1 times, or 3 lots of 1, oops, 2 lots, 1 whole, okay, I've stuffed that up, 1 plus 3 lots of a tenth plus 2 lots of 100th. Okay, so 1 whole, 3 tenths, and so I can just show this as sort of whole grid. 1 of those, 2 sticks, and 3 little squares. Okay. What if I had 0.27? I think I can write that as 27 hundredths. And I'm looking, I know I've got 7 hundredths, so I look at this place value, I've got 7 hundredths, but to the left I've got 2 by 10 more hundredths. Alright, so that's 20. So I've got 27 by a hundredth. 27 hundredths. I can also write that, you should be familiar with this, as 27 over 100. Or I can write that number as 2 by a tenth, 2 lots of a tenth. So I'm partitioning it down into each place value, that one, plus 7 lots of a hundredth. 7 times 100th. Oop. One doesn't fit down there. I ran out of room. Okay, and I can also write that as the 2 by 10 is the 0.2. and the 7 of a hundredth. Oops, that should be a plus because I'm joining them together. Plus, and 7 hundredths has an O first, and 7 hundredths. So I've partitioned that number that way as well. Okay, 27 hundredths. Let's do my hundredths grid. 10 hundredths, 20 hundredths plus 7. Done. Or I can show, let's just clear that one, just send it away. I'm going to show my tenths here. It's not the right one, there's my tenths. 2 of those plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So on the top I've shown 27 hundredths, which is how I showed it here, 27 hundredths. Or I can break it down further and show 2 tenths plus 7 hundredths. But when we put this together, it's exactly the same as this one here. Okay, so the important thing is for decimal place value, the further over from the dot, the decimal place that you go, the smaller the number. And each place here is 10 times smaller than the one before. So 927 there is very much smaller than 0.4. This is not 927 anything major, it's tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10 thousandths, 100 thousandths, millionths. So this is 927 millionth. It's a millionth of 1. So if I had 1, I'd have to chop it into a million pieces, and I'd have 927 of them. It's way less than a tenth. I've almost drawn a tenth there, because a tenth is 0.1. And I have nothing in my tenths, no hundredths, so I don't even have these little, actually I haven't drawn a tenth, I've drawn a hundredth. My bad. But here's 100th here, 0.01. That's what this little square here is. 927 millionth would just be a dot out of 1. Whereas 0.4, if I showed you 0.4, it would be 4 tenths. So it would be nearly halfway. So it would be 4 sticks. Okay? And on a number line, from 0 to 1, well, if we had tenth divisions, it would be here, 4 tenths, 0.4. Here's 0.5. Here's 0.9 here, and here's 1. So that's 4 tenths of the way towards 1. Okay, and this number here is 927 millionths, which is just a speck. Okay, that's all for now.